I trained relentlessly on my basic martial arts for 7 days. But when I faced Fang Yuan, I could barely last 2 moves before he knocked me out cold. Humiliation, absolute humiliation. Gu Yue Mo Bei's heart swelled with shame and anger. Back at home in the courtyard, he unleashed his fury on a wooden dummy, his punches and kicks landing with heavy, resounding thuds. A soft laugh drifted over. Little brother, what grudge do you hold against that poor dummy? Have you grown so attached to hating it? Recognizing the familiar voice, Mo Bei relaxed, ceasing his assault and turning around. Sister, you're back. Yes. The family sent me on a scouting mission. I've been away for more than 10 days. Gu Yue Mo Yan replied with a smile. She was Mo Bei's older sister and had already reached the mid-stage of the second rank as a Gu master. But her expression quickly darkened, her gaze sharpening. Little brother, what happened to your face? Who dared to hurt you? Oh, it's nothing. I tripped on the road and fell. That's all. A slight look of embarrassment crossed Mo Bei's face as he hastily gave a clumsy excuse. Not wanting his sister to know the real reason, how could he bear to admit that he, the future leader of the Gu Yue family, had been knocked out twice? Fortunately, he wasn't the only one, others had suffered the same fate. If you say so, just be careful, and if you want to train your fists and kicks, don't go at it unprotected. Without a defense, Gu Yue, your hands and feet could get seriously injured. Mo Yan advised him before leaving. As she made her way through the family estate, servants bowed and greeted her. Greetings, miss. It's good to have you back, miss. Upon reaching the study, she didn't announce herself but simply pushed the door open. Inside, Gu Yue Mo Chen, her grandfather, stood with his back to her, practicing calligraphy at his desk. Back already? He asked without turning around. You were out scouting for more than half a month. How's the wolf lair? Grandfather, how did you know it was me? Mo Yan paused in surprise. HMPH. Of everyone in this household, only you would dare barge in without knocking. Who else could it be? Mo Chen's tone carried a hint of rebuke, but as he turned around, his expression softened, his eyes warm as he looked at his granddaughter. Mo Yan pouted. Grandfather favors my brother more. Though, he's strict with him since he's the future head. But people don't see the fondness behind it. After a pause, she asked, Grandfather, who hit my brother? He wouldn't say, so I came to ask you. Mo Chen's face hardened. You still haven't answered my question. He set down his brush, drew out a chair, and slowly sat down. Seeing no other choice, Mo Yan reported, the wolf lair is nearly full. At this rate, though we won't face a wolf tide this year, one will surely come next year. Mo Chen nodded. A wolf tide every 3 years is expected. But how many thunder-crowned wolves did you see? About 3. Mo Yan replied. Mo Chen nodded, reassured. Thunder-crowned wolves were the leaders of the pack and would be the greatest threat when the wolf tide struck the mountain stronghold. 3 of them was manageable since the 3 mountain strongholds shared the burden. Grandfather, you still haven't told me about my brother. Mo Yan persisted. Oh, Mo Bei was beaten, once 7 days ago. And again today, right at the school gates. Both times he was knocked unconscious. Mo Chen chuckled. Who would dare do that to him? Mo Yan's eyes widened. It was a classmate of his named Fang Yuan. And, well, he had it coming. Mo Chen chuckled. Grandfather, he's your own grandson. Mo Yan exclaimed, incredulous. Mo Chen looked at her thoughtfully. Mo Yan, you might not understand, but failure and shame are what push one to grow. Without failure, there's no way to forge a mature man. Mo Bei was beaten because he lost. Yet, afterward, he started seeking advice from the guards to learn martial arts, a sign of progress. This progress was a gift from Fang Yuan, who, by defeating him, awakened him. If you truly care for your brother, let him face his challenges without interference. Fang Yuan is a mere commoner with ordinary talent, while Mo Bei, with his noble blood and support from our family, will one day surpass him. Leave Fang Yuan for Mo Bei to deal with. A woman needs friends and love in her life. But for a man, friends and love are secondary. Only a worthy rival is truly indispensable. Do not meddle in his growth. These matters belong to the young. If you interfere, people will say our Gu Yue family has no honor. Mo Yan hesitated, mouth open as if to argue. But under Mo Chen's steady gaze, she finally bowed her head. Yes, grandfather, I understand. As she left the study, neither Mo Bei nor her grandfather noticed the glint of determination in her eyes. Grandfather may show his love for my brother in his way, but I Gu Yue Mo Yan have my own way to protect him, she thought to herself, a new resolve forming in her heart. In a bustling inn, various patrons filled the tables, dining and laughing, adding to the lively atmosphere. A few waiters weaved through the tables, serving food to the customers. Fang Yuan sat alone at a table by the window, occasionally looking out at the distant sky. The setting sun, half hidden beyond the horizon, cast fiery orange hues that bathed the landscape. Beyond the mountains, hidden in twilight, people returned home, some farmers barefoot and caked in mud, herb gatherers carrying medicinal plants, hunters with their game. Among them were Gu masters, clad in blue martial robes, bearing distinctive belts indicating their rank. One blue belt with a 1 symbol denoted a first-rank Gu master, while a red belt with a 2 indicated the second rank. Fang Yuan watched the scene, spotting a few first-rank Gu masters and one second rank. A middle-aged man. To gauge a family's strength is simple. Just sit in the village and observe how many Gu masters pass by. In Gu village, 6 out of 20 are Gu masters, and 1 in every 2 is at least second rank. This is why the Gu clan rules Green Bamboo Mountain. But Green Bamboo Mountain was only a small corner of the vast southern border, and within this grand expanse, the Gu clan held but a modest position. I've only just begun cultivating. With a mere first rank, I lack even the strength to survive alone in the southern border. I must at least reach third rank to venture far. Fang Yuan sighed deeply. This mountain was too small to contain his ambitions. Finally found you, Fang Yuan, a voice growled. Fang Yuan looked up to see a large, muscular middle-aged man with a stern face and a glint of malice in his eyes. Towering over him, Fang Yuan, you're in deep trouble. You dared lay hands on our young master, Mo Bei. Now, Miss Mo Yan is searching for you to settle the score. The man sneered, his presence radiating an intimidating aura. An ordinary person would likely have felt a chill seeing this burly middle-aged man approach with such a menacing gaze. However, after a brief glance, Fang Yuan lost interest, returning his attention to his meal, treating the man beside him as nothing more than thin air. Who's that guy anyway? Just a lackey dressed up like a servant. Not even a Gu master. And he dares to speak to young Master Fang Yuan like that, whispered a nearby inn waiter, observing the tense scene from the corner. HMPH. He's nothing more than a dog barking with borrowed authority. Clearly, he's a privileged servant of the Mo family, only daring to act tough because of the power behind him. If he were just a commoner, who would dare be this arrogant? Muttered another onlooker. True enough, agreed a third, but still, for a mere mortal to shout at a Gu master, well, that must be quite thrilling. TCH. Don't think so highly of Gu masters. Young Master Fang Yuan is only at the beginner level of first rank, having just refined his life Gu. In a real fight, he might not even win against a robust man like that. Let's just hope if they fight, they don't wreck our inn. The crowd murmured among themselves, careful to stay back and simply watch from a distance. Huh? You still have the nerve to eat? The middle-aged man's eyes flashed with anger, realizing his words hadn't intimidated Fang Yuan. You think I'm bluffing, don't you? Word's already gone out to the young miss. She'll be here soon enough. Run if you want, but you won't get far. I'm here to keep you in check until she arrives. Ignoring him entirely, Fang Yuan continued eating, paying no mind to the rising hostility beside him. The man furrowed his brow, irritated by Fang Yuan's calm demeanor. He felt insulted, as if he were invisible. His dignity dismissed. For over a decade, he'd served the Mo family, trusted by his masters. His time around Gu masters had given him insight into their strengths and weaknesses. He knew that a beginner Gu master like Fang Yuan would rely more on physical combat and hadn't yet gained significant power. Besides, he reasoned that even if Fang Yuan used his moonlight Gu, the technique would barely scratch him. In the man's eyes, Fang Yuan was merely a naive youth who posed little threat. and he was determined to earn favor with his masters by teaching him a lesson. "You've got quite the nerve," he sneered, rolling up his sleeves to reveal his muscular, scarred arms. Veins bulged on his forearms, which were thicker than Fang Yuan's thighs. The inn patrons fell silent, some quickly paying their bills and scurrying out to avoid being caught in the fray. "Have you found Fang Yuan?" A haughty, clear voice rang out from the doorway. Mo Yan strode into the inn, trailed by a group of family servants. She was tall and slender, though her face bore a distinct, severe look, a testament to her Mo family heritage. She wore a blue martial robe with a wide red belt engraved with a prominent, too, the mark of a second-rank Gu Yue master. The presence of this family heiress cast an immediate hush over the entire inn. "Servant Cao On at your service." "Young miss." The middle-aged man dropped his hostility, plastering a sycophantic smile on his face as he shuffled forward to kneel before her. The inn's waitstaff stared, mouths agape, at the man's abrupt transformation. His fawning appearance was almost comical, but none dared laugh. His behavior only underscored Mo Yan's dominance. Some of the staff couldn't help but feel nervous for Fang Yuan. He was one of their best customers, and any harm to him could be bad for business. They all silently hoped Fang Yuan would surrender without causing trouble. Mo Yan didn't spare Cao On a glance. Her eyes were fixed on Fang Yuan as she strode up to his table, her voice sharp as a blade. "So, you're Fang Yuan? You seem to be enjoying your meal. But have you tasted the flavor of a fist? I'd be happy to give you a taste. You might find it even more satisfying." Despite her words, Mo Yan hesitated to strike immediately. Fang Yuan's calm demeanor was unnerving, making her wonder if he had some hidden backing. "No, that's unlikely. I checked his background," she reassured herself. Fang Yuan is a lone wolf with no family ties. An orphan with nothing but a mediocre talent, a weakling with no support to speak of. Yet, something about him felt unsettling. "Proceed with caution," she thought. Fang Yuan chuckled, looking at her with an amused smile. "Who told you I'm Gu Yue Fang Yuan?" Mo Yan's eyes widened in surprise, turning to glare at Cao On. Just as he was about to stand, Cao On quickly dropped back to his knees, sweating profusely. "My lady, I. They had a drawing of Fang Yuan, but both he and Fang Zheng were identical twins, nearly indistinguishable. No wonder this boy wasn't the least bit intimidated. He's Fang Zheng, not Fang Yuan." Mo Yan's attendants exchanged glances, reaching the same conclusion. Fang Zheng was a first-rank prodigy, favored by the clan leader. If this youth were Fang Zheng, there was no way they could afford to offend him. Knowing this, the inn staff wisely kept their mouths shut. As Fang Yuan finished his meal, he rose, glancing at Mo Yan with a cool smile. "Didn't you say you wanted Fang Yuan? Follow me. I'll take you to the school dormitory where you'll find him." Mo Yan hesitated, but her decision came quickly. "Fine, lead the way, please." She gestured for Fang Yuan to go ahead. With an easy smile, Fang Yuan walked out of the inn, Mo Yan following close behind, trailed by her retinue of attendants. "Thank goodness that's over. Finally. Let's hope they take their fight elsewhere." The inn's waitstaff sighed in relief. Grateful to avoid trouble, the group reached the school gates. "Halt. Stop. Only Clan Gu Yue masters are permitted entry to the family school," two guards said, barring their way. "Ridiculous. You don't recognize me?" Mo Yan's sharp gaze swept over the guards, her voice icy. "Apologies, young Miss Mo Yan," one of the guards stammered. "But clan rules are strict. We can allow only one servant inside. That's the best compromise we can offer." Mo Yan snorted, clearly irritated, but she knew she couldn't openly defy the rules. The Mo family's strength brought plenty of envy. The rival Kai family and even other factions within the clan constantly sought weaknesses to exploit. "You all stay here. Cao On, come with me," she gave her order. Cao On straightened, a delighted smile on his face. "Thank you, young miss, for your favor. Let's go, schoolmate." Mo Yan shot a meaningful look at Fang Yuan. Expressionless, Fang Yuan led the way. At the dormitory entrance, he unlocked the door and stepped inside. Stopping just past the threshold, he gestured for Mo Yan to look in. She glanced around the empty room, her face darkening. "Where is he? Explain yourself." Now, Fang Yuan smiled calmly. I'm not a person? Mo Yan stared at him, her eyes narrowing as she began to understand. I'm looking for Gu Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan let out a low laugh. And did I ever say I wasn't Gu Fang Yuan? Huh? Mo Yan's brow furrowed as the realization dawned on her that Fang Yuan had been toying with her. Oh, how bold you are, daring to fool even me. Your elder, she snapped, her right hand reaching forward to seize him. But Fang Yuan didn't flinch. He simply tilted his head back and laughed. Mo Yan, you understand now, don't you? Mo Yan's hand froze midair, her feet rooted just outside the doorway. Her expression betrayed a mix of hesitation and rage. The clan had strict rules. Disciples within the academy were under protection. No one was allowed to barge into the dormitories and assault a fellow clan member. She only wanted to teach Fang Yuan a lesson, to let him taste a bit of suffering, not to risk violating the family rules. If it were only my own reputation, that would be one thing. But if this causes trouble for my family or drags grandfather into it. With a bitter sigh, Mo Yan retracted her hand. Her gaze burned into Fang Yuan as though she could reduce him to ashes on the spot. I never lied to you. I said I'd take you to Fang Yuan, and here I am. Fang Yuan's hands rested behind his back, his calm, confident stance entirely unfazed by her second-rank aura. Their separation was but a step, yet it felt like a chasm. Fang Yuan, you really do know the family rules inside and out. Mo Yan's face twisted in a cold sneer. But hiding behind the rules will only delay the inevitable. You can't stay in this dormitory forever. And I'll be here the moment you step out. Fang Yuan chuckled dismissively, looking at her with disdain. I'd love to see how long you're willing to wait. It's getting late. After all, I have a bed to sleep in. But you? What will you do if I don't show up for class tomorrow and the family elders investigate? Mo Yan's face flushed with anger as she pointed a trembling finger at him. Do you really think I won't come in there and drag you out myself? With a slight grin, Fang Yuan threw the door wide open, inviting her inside. His voice was steady, almost taunting. Then go ahead, make your move. Mo Yan's anger seemed to cool as she narrowed her eyes at him. You think I'll fall for that? I'm not that easily baited. Fang Yuan shrugged, a knowing smile on his face. He had anticipated her reaction. If he had left the door partially closed, she might have stormed in. But by opening it fully, he triggered her caution. Centuries of experience had taught him well. He turned his back to her, fully exposing himself, a prime moment for her to strike. But Mo Yan remained rooted outside the door, as if an invisible mountain blocked her path. Settling cross-legged on his bed, Fang Yuan watched her. How sad it is, he mused to himself, that often the chains holding us back aren't material but the shackles of the mind. In cultivation, Fang Yuan knew he couldn't yet match Mo Yan, but even with her second-rank strength, she was paralyzed by her own restraint. A person spends their whole life learning the rules, figuring out how to exploit them, yet when they're bound by those same rules, they end up restrained by the very knowledge they sought to master. That's the real tragedy. With one last glance at Mo Yan, Fang Yuan closed his eyes, slipping into deep meditation. That insufferable boy, meditating in front of me, like I'm nothing. Mo Yan's chest tightened with fury. She wanted nothing more than to march in and strike him. But she knew she couldn't. For a fleeting moment, Mo Yan regretted her choice. She had come here determined to teach Fang Yuan a lesson. Yet she found herself thwarted, humiliated, and unable to do anything about it. The presence of her servant only made her shame sting worse. Damn him. That brat is truly infuriating, so shameless, so cunning. Frustrated, Mo Yan shouted curses in the hopes of luring Fang Yuan out. Fang Yuan, you coward, come out and face me. Are you a man or a turtle? Hiding like this? It's disgraceful. Stop pretending, and get out here. Yet Fang Yuan remained silent, showing no sign of response. As her shouting dragged on, Mo Yan felt less satisfaction, her anger only growing. She began to feel ridiculous, like a scorned woman shouting outside a lover's door. Finally, she lost her temper altogether, muttering to herself, Fang Yuan, you may dodge me today, but you won't dodge me forever. With one last stomp, she turned to leave, calling out, Sao On, stay here and watch the place. I refuse to believe he'll stay hidden forever. Yes, young miss, Cao On replied eagerly, though inwardly he was filled with dread. Staying out all night in the cold mountains was hardly a pleasant assignment. As waves rose and fell in his sea of energy, Fang Yuan felt the surging power of his bronze primeval sea. The faint blue light washed over his inner world, pressing against the walls of his vital aperture. For a first-ranked Gu Yue master, the aperture walls were but a thin film of light. To reach the mid-stage, he would need to refine this into a membrane of water. His 500 years of accumulated wisdom left him with an intimate understanding of each step. Gradually, he opened his eyes. Outside, the night was deep, the moon hanging high in the sky, casting a soft silver glow across the room. The night wind slipped in, chilling him to the bone. Lacking a Gu Yue worm for warmth, Fang Yuan shivered slightly in the cold, his youthful body unable to fully withstand the mountain night's chill. "You brat, finally awake, are you?" Cao On's voice came from the doorway, the man looking alert and smug. "You may as well come out and face the music. You can't hide forever after what you did to our young Master Mo Bei." Fang Yuan glanced lazily toward the doorway. "Ah, so that female Gu Yue master has left? You think you can ignore me? Huh?" Cao On growled. "You've got a nice warm room and a bed to sleep in. But I'm out here in the cold. If you don't come out, I'll come in." Fang Yuan ignored him, reaching into his pouch to retrieve a primeval stone, holding it in his palm as he closed his eyes once again. Cao On grew impatient, his voice rising in anger. "You brat, you're just a pathetic first rank with barely enough talent to even train. You really think you're a match for the Mo family? So stubborn and stupid." Fang Yuan showed no reaction, continuing his meditation. "Come out here and bow down to the young miss while you still have a chance. And maybe she'll spare you." Cao On threatened, but Fang Yuan remained as calm as ever, letting the man's curses drift over him as he drew upon the primeval energy from his stone. Deepening his focus, Cao On cursed again, but Fang Yuan tuned him out, remaining in silent defiance. In the quiet of his inner world, Fang Yuan was untouchable, and in the cold mountain night, Cao On was left cursing into the darkness, his threats echoing against the empty walls. Fang Yuan ignored the taunts, his mind completely focused. On one hand, he absorbed the natural primeval energy from the stone, while on the other, he observed the changes within his aperture. The primeval sea had started to replenish as the natural energy from the stone poured in, slowly rising back to its previous level. The process was slow, but Fang Yuan wasn't in a rush. Cultivation was a matter of steady accumulation, not haste. Outside, however, Cao On, the middle-aged servant, was growing increasingly impatient. After half an hour, Fang Yuan's bronze primeval sea had returned to its previous fullness. But he wasn't done yet. His primeval sea now shimmered with a greenish hue. This was the lowest tier of first-rank primeval energy, known as bronze primeval essence. But Fang Yuan wasn't cultivating ordinary bronze energy, he was refining it into the more powerful mid-tier essence. Drunk in Gu Yue, Fang Yuan thought, activating the Gu Yue worm that floated in his sea of energy. Hovering like a white dumpling. With a flash, a portion of his energy entered the drunken Gu Yue, which absorbed it completely. The Gu Yue worm emitted a faint aroma of wine, forming a vapor that Fang Yuan directed back into his primeval sea. As the vapor dissipated, the energy transformed, its color shifting from green to a deeper teal, the hallmark of mid-tier primeval essence. Ordinary disciples use low-tier energy to advance, but with mid-tier primeval essence, I'll progress at twice their speed, and my moonlight Gu Yue attacks will be far more powerful. Only once his entire primeval sea was converted to mid-tier essence did Fang Yuan open his eyes. Time had slipped by unnoticed. Outside, dawn was breaking, casting a deep blue hue across the sky. The open door, exposed all night, had gathered a layer of moisture, its wood edges turning dark with dampness. Returning to his senses, Fang Yuan felt the cool mountain air cling to his skin. His legs had grown numb from sitting cross-legged for so long. As he unfurled his hand, a handful of gray stone powder fell away, the remnants of 3 spent primeval stones. So, 3 stones in one night, Fang Yuan calculated, though he possessed only average aptitude. He made up for it by using stones to maintain his cultivation pace and refining the energy with his drunken Gu. It's costly, but to achieve the speed and efficiency I need, the expense is worth it. Fang Yuan glanced at the doorway. Cao On, the burly servant, was slumped against the wall, curled up and apparently asleep. Looks like the second-ranked Gu master has left Cao On here to watch me. Ha! Fang Yuan smirked, stepping off the bed and stretching his limbs. As he exited the dormitory, Cao On immediately roused, his large frame blocking Fang Yuan's path. Finally willing to come out. Huh? Ready to bow and apologize to my young miss? Cao On sneered, his bulky form nearly twice the size of Fang Yuan's. Cao On's eyes gleamed with malice. Like a starved jackal. Without a word, Fang Yuan continued walking toward him. You should have come out earlier. Do you know how much I've suffered just waiting here for you? Cao On taunted, advancing with heavy, deliberate steps. Suddenly, Fang Yuan sprang forward, fists flying toward Cao On. Foolish brat, you have a death wish. Cao On's face twisted with anger. He threw a massive fist at Fang Yuan, his punch slicing through the air with a fierce whoosh. Fang Yuan's eyes flashed coldly as he sidestepped, slipping past Cao On's defenses and aiming a precise jab at the man's ribs. Cao On reacted quickly, blocking Fang Yuan's strike with his forearm, which felt like striking an iron plate. This guy's physique is formidable, honed through years of training. Fang Yuan's eyes narrowed as he pulled back, widening the distance between them. In the Gu clan, only clan members could train as Gu masters, while the remaining commoners could only practice martial arts. Cao On, though not a Gu master, had clearly trained rigorously and was now in his physical prime. Without other combat Gu to assist him, Fang Yuan knew he was at a disadvantage in terms of pure strength and resilience. For a regular first-ranked Gu master, facing a highly trained fighter like Cao On could be fatal. Even a mid-tier Gu master would find this man a threat. Tricky little fox. Cao On's mind raced as he realized Fang Yuan was aiming at his weak points. Eager to make a strong impression, Cao On advanced, eager to capture Fang Yuan and force him to submit to Mo Yan's demands. With a glint of determination in his eye, Cao On reached out with his massive hands, trying to seize Fang Yuan. The two clashed in a whirlwind of fists and kicks, each trading attacks and parrying blows in a brutal exchange. Every move Fang Yuan made targeted Cao On's vulnerable points. A jab toward the throat, a palm strike to the chin, an elbow aimed at the ribs, and a knee strike to the groin. Cao On felt sweat break out across his forehead. Fang Yuan's attacks were merciless. Each strike aimed to incapacitate him. Though Cao On had trained in martial arts, he was still a mortal. His weak points remained vulnerable. Unlike a Gu master, he couldn't rely on reinforced defenses. Meanwhile, Cao On held back, cautious not to strike Fang Yuan fatally. As a Gu clan member, Fang Yuan's death would bring serious consequences, and Cao On knew he'd be the first to pay. His plan was to capture Fang Yuan and rough him up a bit. Yet with his own limitations, he found himself gradually overwhelmed. Once I capture him, the young miss will surely reward me. He's only a first rank. After all, his moonlight slash will barely scratch me if it doesn't hit a weak point. Cao On reassured himself, excitement gleaming in his eyes as he reached out to seize Fang Yuan. But Fang Yuan wasn't about to surrender. Their fists connected in a symphony of blows, filling the air with the sound of knuckles and flesh colliding. Unlike his usual fights with other disciples, Fang Yuan didn't hold back. He aimed strikes directly at Cao On's most vulnerable areas, leaving no room for mercy. Cao On, feeling the sting of each brutal hit, began to realize the true danger he was in. Fang Yuan's every move was aimed to kill. Though not a Gu master, Cao On's vulnerable body and lack of special defenses made him dangerously susceptible. Fang Yuan's relentless assault was as fierce as a wolf's, his calculated strikes revealing the ruthless predator within.